Yo, Caesar here, and welcome back to IRL or Indian Racing League. We are here at the circuit of the Americas for round 7 of season 3. I missed last weekend as I was traveling, so lost quite a lot of points, but fortunately, or a silver lining for us, was that our nearest rival did not win that race. So I think that's one positive I can take out from missing last weekend. But rest assured, I will be available for the remainder of the season. So we have 3 more races to go after this. So 4 more weekends, including this one, to possibly try to seal the title and win IRL season 3. And yeah, coming back into this race, we had a very slim lead over second place. I believe it's VFix who was right behind me in the championship points table, 10 points behind if I can recall correctly. So coming back to the qualifying session, you can see we've already set our banker lap, and for some reason my system did not save the qualifying session, so it's saved just at the end of it. So what you're seeing here right now is not it is my best lap, but it's not a legal one, as you'll see that I will invalidate that right there. And I messed up the end of sector 1, or rather start of sector 2, and you can see we lose a lot of time, but just putting it in there to show how much time we do gain in the end over our current best time of 29.6, if I can read that correctly. So we did manage to improve. Of course, no more corner cuts will be there in the remainder of the lap, but during the practice session for prior to this race, we were doing around 129.3. So that is exactly what we were aiming for when we started the session, but unfortunately we had to do with 29.6. So we are on pole with that time. Hopefully none of the driver goes on to beat that. Noah West is in P2, VFix in P3, so, and Ashwin in P4. So all our championship rivals are right very close to each other in qualifying pace. So you can see we do a 29.5 even after messing up quite a good part of that lap. So 0.3 was definitely there. 0.4 maybe you could have done that, but 0.3 I think if we had managed to hook up that lap, 0.3 was for sure there. But could have, would have, we're still in P1, which is good, and we knew that if we manage to keep everything in check, have a clean lap after lap in the race, I think we have a good shot at possibly winning this race. So strategy wise, it was quite direct. Softs to medium is what we were targeting. I'm not sure how many drivers knew of this, because as you can see, the default strategy showed a 2-stopper, but yeah, we knew that we had to go for a 1-stopper. We were no way doing a 2-stopper unless of course there was a safety car involved at the later part of the race, but so far 1 stop is what we were targeting. So waiting for 5 red lights to go off, hoping for a better launch than anyone else on the field. Of course you have to be leading and possibly try to be on the inside, as we get a pretty good launch compared to Nova. So we go immediately to the left, covering the inside of the track and braking right at the apex and going a bit wide, try to possibly defend, but thankfully Nova was not at the on our right, so we managed to take turn 1 cleanly. And yeah, these sequences of corner are absolutely wonderful. I think these are one of the best sequences on the whole calendar. One of the best, not the best of course, but definitely right up there. And I mean, if you can nail those SS, I think it's quite satisfactory in the end. So keeping our nose clean at the starting part of this race, and you can see we won't use our ERS much. We do use at the exit, but we switch it off immediately, keeping an eye out on Nova behind and keeping an eye out on the Delta. As you can see, Delta is closing down so rapidly, and we can see proximity arrows going red and Nova overtakes, and we go lean even before the braking zone starts. So we allow Nova West to go. The strategy here, as always, was to preserve ERS. So ERS, I cannot stress enough how valuable this feature is in this game. If you can preserve ERS at the start of the race and keep up with the car in front, you are definitely at an advantage. The power is there when you need it, and you won't face much of an issue overtaking the car in front. So we slot up behind Nova West in P2. We do lose a position, but there was nothing to worry about, as we have 26 laps or 27 laps more to go at this circuit. So we had to be mindful that we do not get any track extension or corner cutting penalties, because in tracks like these, they play quite a big role, and especially if a safety car comes out at towards the end of this race, that just throws any possibility of scoring decent points at the end of this race. So you see there we go purple in sector 1. So we are staying up with Nova. We don't use our ERS at all, and yeah, the strategy here was just to stay close behind Nova and allow him to pull us away from the pack behind. So you can see the gap behind us is what is that, 9/10 if I can read correctly. So yeah, that's what our strategy was. As you can see, virtual safety car is already deployed. Not sure who retired, but yeah, the plan is working out pretty well at this stage. I mean, P1, if we were in P1 without any use of ERS, I think that would have been perfect, but I wasn't complaining at all. And you must have seen the past streams as well that we don't fight the guys too much. I mean, if there are, of course, hordes of cars trying to overtake, of course we have to defend. But if there's just one car trying to overtake us at the start, we don't fight that too much, because as again, ERS, just save it for the latter part of this stage. So yeah, coming back to the race at the end of lap 3, Nova still leading the race. We are comfortably behind him in P2. So moving forward to lap 4, or the end of lap 4, we have built up a gap of over a second, almost a second and a half to the guy in P3. That is PSI Legend. So we are comfortably matching the pace what Nova is showing, but we saw PSI going a few tenths quicker than both of us. So this just gave me a signal that Nova probably is trying to save ERS himself, or he is at this stage not up to the pace as we would have liked. So you can see we're trying to now push, and come the back straight, we will try to go and make a move on him, because we knew that we had the pace, judging by the qualifying. I'm not sure how other people's qualifying went, but as far as I can say for myself, we were definitely 2 to 3 tenths short of what we could have actually achieved. So coming back to the main straight, you can see we have activated our ERS, which we have managed to save quite a lot of it, using the DRS assistance as well, which makes Nova defense but not too hard. So we stick to the racing line, brake as late as possible into this hairpin, and sticking on the outside, we managed to take P1 away from him. And this section where overtaking is quite tricky, you have to be really brave and to send it down the inside of that corner, and luckily Nova doesn't send it, and we retake P1 in the race. So now it was the time to possibly see and stretch our legs to see exactly what our pace was like. So we retake the lead for the first time during this weekend for this race, and yeah, I was quite curious to see how our pace is like, for the fact that I was using a totally new setup for this weekend. So I was in a no man's zone when it comes to know exactly how this setup will feel. I mean, yes, we have been not pushing exactly as hard as we would have liked, and as you can see, we just got our first corner cut warning. So we had to see what this setup is, how the setup behaved. I already had a setup which was pretty decent, but it wasn't as quick as probably this one, over at least a 1 lap pace. So I was in an unknown territory, but as the race progressed, I was feeling more and more comfortable with the setup. I felt that tire wear wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, so I was in a pretty good zone by myself. You can see we pulled up a gap of over a second already. So yeah, we're really stretching our legs, and we are coming to a point where the two-stop strategy drivers will now start coming into the pits. So we are definitely staying out, as our strategy is for a one-stop. So we'll see who pits behind us if someone does. Let's see. Nova is in the pits, so that's our championship rival, or at this point, someone who is challenging for the race win tonight. So not exactly sure what compound he will be going in for. I mean, if he goes for the hards, he can go all the way, but and that will be a one-stopper. But a two-stopper on the medium from lap 8, 20 laps on mediums is a bit of a stretch. So we stayed out. I think our pit stop window, I mean the planned pit stop window was around lap 11, at the end of lap 11 if I'm not wrong. So that was our strategy. You can see we are at 70% tire wear, so we definitely have to pit. We could have gone a lap more, but that would have just meant we would have lost more and more time. So we can see as we move forward by 4 laps at the end of coming to the end of lap 11, Nova is 15.7 seconds behind us on the medium, so he is definitely going for a two-stopper. And yeah, you know, 12 laps on these compound plus a lap in qualifying, 13 laps and then 15 laps on the mediums is very easy at this stage. So we do come in at the end of this lap. We will of course not be in the lead of this race once we come out of the pits, but we are definitely in a very comfortable position to win this race. So you can see the pit stop is done. The Ferrari pit crew doing a magnificent job. We are out of the pits in no time, and we come out in P3. So PSI Legends, who has made his pit stop, is on the soft compound, so no matter what happens, he has to pit, unlike Nova, who can possibly try to stretch those mediums. But yeah, PSI definitely has to go into the pits. So yeah, coming back at the start of lap 15, you can see we keep on checking at the lap times that the driver is doing in the front. So this is something that I do. You know, I lap after lap, if I'm competing, if I know a driver I'm competing is in front of me or behind me or is in the lead, I do keep a constant check on them. As you can see, we get a second warning of this race, so we're just one warning away from a time penalty. Drivers around us all have penalties. Nova, our championship rival, has 3 seconds. PSI has 3 seconds. Phantom has 9 seconds. So yeah, that's a lot of time penalty to to have. So PSI goes into the pits as expected, and he will be on the mediums to go to the end of this race, and going probably 2 laps forward. Nova West, as conditions have gone dark all of a sudden, Nova West goes into the pit, so he will be going to the softs, and yeah, he'll be pretty quick at this phase of at this stage of this race. So we are in P1. We will have quite a comfortable lead, and you can see we have a 12.7 seconds lead and 17.5 seconds lead to Nova in P4 at the moment, as we have a virtual safety car. So at this point, I wanted to carry on, but of course we needed a maximum haul of points, which I had the opportunity to possibly go into the pits. So I was discussing on the radio with my teammate that should I pit or not, and he suggested that since I'm near the pit box, I just go into the pits. I might lose a position probably, but yeah, I'll be a lot quicker. So you can see we go into the pits, slap on a set of softs. The virtual safety car is still on. It will be ending as we are coming out of the pits. But something really stupid happens, and you see the delta here, which I completely ignored, and yeah, so that is just a typical Ferrari thing to do, isn't it? So that's one way to throw the lead or the win, race victory out of this window. And at that point, I was wondering, I mean, I had no clue that I oversped while you know, I was coming out of the pits. I thought maybe while entering the pits the delta was red, so that's why I got it. But upon reviewing the footage, I saw that I was just, yeah, as Charles Leclerc would say, I'm stupid. So yeah, so coming back to this race, so with 6 laps or five and a half laps to go, and with a drive through to serve, we knew we have to push. And the next few laps, we just pushed hands over fist. So you can see we've already gone purple, but that was expected. But you'll see in the coming laps, we'll just keep on pushing. So we've already built a gap of 4.5 seconds to VFix. Nova has managed to overtake VFix as well. So Nova is on the charge, and we do a 131.9. So that's 2 seconds quicker than what we had done. So we are really pushing and trying to build up a gap. But with Nova 3.8 seconds behind, it's not exactly a lot. VFix is 7.5, PSI is 9.4. So yeah, we will be losing a good chunk of positions when we come out of the pits after serving this drive-through. And I was just frustrated at myself. I mean, no one else to blame. I just got excited at the exit that, you know, I was coming right behind, or maybe I was P1 or P2, wherever I was. I mean, I just got too excited too quickly, and you know, that's just one lesson. You don't celebrate too quickly. And yeah, we are 4.5 seconds behind P4. But moving forward few laps, coming to the end of lap 26, starting the penultimate lap, you can see we're still pushing so much that we're losing the back end. And yeah, with PSI 2.4 seconds behind and him having 6 seconds, so we are technically in net P2. And looking at the mini map, Nova was a long way ahead. So we didn't know that how much penalty Nova had, and that's why we needed to push as hard as possible. Rain wasn't expected to come, so we knew that that danger was out of the way, and yeah, we just needed to get a move on and get in front of VFix as soon as possible, and possibly just probably do a miraculous race here from this point, and possibly trying to get a P1, but that was quite a stretch, to be honest. So P2 is what exactly we were targeting. Of course, with a lap and a half to go, Nova could have had more penalties. As you can see, he still has 3 seconds, so, and he's 10.9 seconds, 11 seconds in front, so he really needed to get 2 more penalties from here. And you know, if you're practical enough and if you're logical and smart enough, you wouldn't do anything stupid to, you know, get any more time penalties. So he was in a comfortable P1, and you know, just moving on to the final lap, we knew that Nova was out of the reach. PSI Legend in front had a 6-second time penalty. We had none, and with the remaining part of this track, there was no way we could get another time penalty. So we decided to just hold on to P3 on the track. We knew P2 was in the bag, so rather than do anything silly and you know, I don't know, maybe lose the back and then crash out, just stay behind him, get this Ferrari back home. So this is exactly what we did. We just hung around PSI's Mercedes in the front, let him take P2 on the track, but we do get P2 and P2. Pretty decent result, but we could have had P1 for sure, and it was just plain stupidity. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I just got too excited, and yeah, that just cost us the race win. But on the positive side, we do get a bonus point. I mean, if that makes things any better, and yeah, congratulations to Nova on getting his 2nd win of the season, if I'm not wrong, and yet another podium in this season 3. So congratulations to him and PSI, who I believe got his first podium of this season. So yeah, congratulations to him as well. As far as Ferrari is concerned, P2 is still not a bad result, but starting from pole, P1 should have been there. Our teammate starting from P13 finished in P9, and I think it was an okay result. Could have been better, but overall, I think it's I think we can be content with that. So yeah, that was the race from Kota. Quite stupid from ourselves, but moving forward, we will be in Japan next weekend. So that's quite an interesting track and quite a strong one as well. So I will be seeing you all from Suzuka, and until next week, it's goodbye.